What's up, family? It's Chris, and you're watching That Outside TV. I have my dad with me today.
The coach of all coaches.
And you guys already know the deal, so I'm going to get right into it. HecyDec. I'm not going to try to pronounce it. That's the person who requested us to react to this video, and it is, they said react to top 10 Bruce Lee moments. There's nothing more to say about that. So before we get into the video, you guys know we got to shout out our crew. Assistant coach of all coaches, Mickey Barlow. Bench warmer, That's So Wreck. And our water boy, AK. Now before we get into the video, you guys already know the deal. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Comment down below what you guys want to see next. Hit that notification bell to get a notification when I upload. And subscribe to join the family.
But as always, financially, the coach can't take care of everybody, but
he will give you good advice. Now let's get into the video.
I'm warning you.
Hey, Alum, don't bother yourself.
Lay off.
He's a legend for a reason. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down the top 10 Bruce Lee moments. Number 10, Ice Factory, The Big Boss. Kicking off our list is the scene in which Lee's character is ambushed and outnumbered in an ice factory. Though unarmed, his attackers soon learn that they made a big mistake when he starts improvising. One of the poor saps even gets thrown through a wall, Roadrunner style. Seriously, with all those ice picks lying around, is this not the worst place to pick a fight with Bruce Lee? Number 9, Nunchuck Fight, Way of the Dragon.
I see this movie probably about 10 times, and I don't remember that Roadrunner moment, but that is funny. How you gonna get knocked through a wall like that?
I don't think I've ever seen the movies that they're about to show on this list, but
really?
That was funny.
You've seen no Bruce Lee movies?
Mm-mm.
Man, we all saw Bruce Lee movies, and we all go out, we watch the movies.
And try to do the moves.
And we go out and we start practicing karate. Probably one of the reasons
why you started doing
karate. Practicing, yeah. Yeah, except there was no Jeet Kune Do school, so I started with Kempo karate. Huh? No.
Okay.
And everybody went there, especially the Nunchucks. Everybody just
it
was good and guys. And then they made them illegal because everybody started carrying them, and it actually was a weapon. So they made them illegal, so you couldn't just walk around with them open. So that's a fun fact.
Chinese Kung Fu.
In this flick, Lee is sent to Rome to help his family fight the local mafia.
Oh, what rippling muscles.
When he's taken into a back alley to be rubbed out, Lee quickly turns the tide. Interestingly, the bad guys regroup and are laughably ordered to kill him without using their guns.
Go and get him, but no guns.
This allows Lee to pull 2 sets of nunchucks out of nowhere.
Why don't you want to use any guns?
Right. Just kill him and keep it moving.
You got your guns out already. But
go get him. But remember, no guns.
Nah, he just beat everybody up a minute ago.
Right.
Now you think your guys are better fighters now because there's more of them. Movies.
Get him.
And
Movies are funny.
Whoop the fights good and proper. No, for real though, where did he get those? Number 8, Upgrades, Enter the Dragon. When Lee finds his way into the villain's top secret underground lair, he is forced to get topless and take out the countless henchmen in his path. This fight keeps intensifying as he upgrades his weapons with every defeated opponent. These include a stick, metal rod, and finally, nunchucks. It's almost a shame the bad guys eventually stopped coming, because this could have gotten a lot crazier. Number 7, The Giant, Game of Death. Oh baby, here we go. It's yellow jumpsuit time. In a high point of this posthumous film, Lee battles the shades-wearing 7'2" basketball player Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. At 5'6", Lee looks positively dwarfish next to his opponent. As has happened in every kung fu movie ever, the smaller Lee manages to use his opponent's size against him and leaves him breathless. Number 6. Vengeance. Enter the Dragon. In this especially personal confrontation,
Don't hit back.
Lee comes face to face against the bearded, sadistic, and
He's absolutely right. I was talking about that earlier when guys just punching pads and nothing's coming back at them. This don't teach you how to fight because you hitting something. What teaches you how to fight is something trying to hit you back. That's when you really learn how to fight. And that's why, like, when we train full force, no gloves. So if you got in a street fight, it was real because you trained real fighting. A lot of people, you have two types of martial artists. You have the skilled, what we call the technical martial artists, and then you'll have the physical, the guy that's great at fighting. It's very rare that you have both, but Bruce Lee always showed that you need the opposite, the light and the dark, the dry and the wet. You need them both because you can meet your match, physically, and you can meet your match intellectually, but very rare do you have that combination that I can outthink you and I'm quicker.
racially scarred O'Hara in a martial arts tournament. The man who caused his sister to commit suicide. Lee beats him to a pulp without ever taking a scratch. When O'Hara breaks the rules, Lee does more than hurt him. He goes right for his brains. Both of them. Number 5. Facing Petrov.
Let me take care of him.
Fists of Fury. This flick.
And it's always funny in the movies also, you'll have like 4 or 5 masters, right? They'll be standing right there. But it's how you take them. Instead of all 5 of them
going and fighting, yeah.
You take them. Oh, no, I'll take them. No, watch this.
Yeah.
Right? Famous last words, watch this. and then beat to death. I never understood that. But what it is bravado. It's I got this. Let me. You know what? I got this. I'm better than him. Then he beat you to death. Now you laying on the ground.
Sees Lee on a quest for revenge against those who killed his master. This leads him to face Petrov, a sinister, suspender-wearing Russian played by Robert Baker, one of Lee's own Jeet Kune Do students. This fight is memorable for its punishing action and dry humor, as Lee confounds his foe with smirks and blurry hand movements. He even bites the dude's leg. What martial arts school is that from?
So you want to see how good you are? Then you must be tired of living.
Number 4. No respect, Fist of Fury.
Surround him!
This is the fight that helped transition Hong Kong action flicks from swordplay to bare-handed fighting. With Lee's dead master mocked by a rival school, he shows up on their doorstep to teach them respect. This ballsy move pays off as he takes on the whole dojo single-handedly. Of course, he has to do this topless, while creating a human hurricane, laying the beat down with nunchucks, and ultimately making them eat their own words.
This time you're eating paper. Next time it's gonna be glass.
Number 3, finish him, the big boss, aka the Chinese Connection. This classic sees Lee as a man who has sworn an oath of non-violence, but is forced to break that pledge in a big way. Specifically, to confront the man who murdered his family. Ultimately, but he manages to win by deflecting a knife throw before going Mortal Kombat and thrusting his fingers into his enemy's chest. Striking with every bit of energy he's got, he ultimately collapses in fatigue.
I've seen this movie so many times, I never realized he shoved his fingers. I thought it was that knife he shoved into him. He actually shoved his fingers into him? I didn't even realize that.
That's nasty.
I mean, they used to have this machine. It's actually called the Eagle Claw, where it would strengthen your fingers. You put all 5 fingers in a hole, and it had like springs, and then you would squeeze them to make a fist. And what it does is it'll strengthen your fingers, like in some of the movies where you see them going through the dirt and all that. So they have this actual thing that you can. So we were training, right? The Eagle Claw, right? I used to take like pizza boxes, and I would just put like all 5 of my fingers right through, just and then fall and then rip it loose. It actually worked.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, I don't know if I could have went through somebody's skin, but I mean, and then it's like the dirt will get thicker and thicker and thicker, and then so you would have to apply more pressure, and then I was able to do the Eagle Claw like that, and then it's like you come up and I don't know, but I could go through a thick box. Then I went through like 2 boxes, and then it was like 3 boxes. You just put your fingers right through. It's like, that's insane. Chinese come up with stuff, boy.
You have offended my family, and you have offended the Shaolin Temple.
Number 2, Hall of Mirrors, Enter the Dragon. In the last fight of his most famous film, Lee finally finds himself up against the claw-wearing Mr. Han. A fight in which he acquired the scratches across his body and face that became the most iconic image of his career. The fight goes totally surreal when he's led into a chamber of mirrors and forced to defy superstition. Number 1, versus Chuck Norris, Way of the Dragon.
Never liked Chuck. Never thought Chuck was the actual champion, believe it or not. But I just thought Chuck was just slow and just bulky. He was just a big guy that was just extremely slow. He was tough, but he was slow. It's like when...
Now, he's not saying he can beat Chuck Norris, because I know people in the comments going to be like, oh, man, I bet you couldn't even beat him. I bet he'll do this. I bet he'll do that.
Probably not even now, because Chuck's still training. but anyway...
You know how they get.
Chuck was just slow. See, I'm 6'2", and what we were taught is to use... Chuck used what he had, which was he was a big, tough guy. I was the opposite. I wasn't as big as Chuck, but I was long, and I would hit you so fast. I was not as fast as Bruce Lee, but I was fast, and we were so good with our hands and feet. Chuck would have had a tough time beating me because we moved a lot, and we had that imaginary line which is called a distance. And you ask your sister, I trained her, and she won every competition she was in, because I said once they break that distance, you break their jaw. And that was it. When they step across that imaginary line that you know you can hit them and they can't hit you, you hit them. You hit them with everything. And if they, you know what I mean? If they came in, or when you go around, it's called eternity or infinity. It's called an infinity circle. A circle never ends. So the way we would fight was continue to go around in a circle. And every time there was an imaginary line, when you tried to turn on that circle, we hit you at a different angle, where we never really, because you never was in, and like Kempo, then I switched over to Taekwondo, and so all of the fighting of the Kempo mixed with the Taekwondo just made me almost unbeatable. Kind of like what Bruce Lee said, you got to take different parts of different fighting styles to suit your needs. You know, there's no perfect fighting style. You know, all the guys, they you know, there's some deadly ones, yes, but there's no perfect one. Everyone has their weakness. And for Taekwondo, it was ground fighting. If you got a Taekwondo guy down, you had a pretty good chance against them. But if they were on their feet, you know, it's like a Brazilian guy. You have an advantage standing against a Brazilian fighter. You know, not like you're going to beat him, but you got an advantage. Go ahead.
Taking the top spot on our list is cinema's ultimate East versus West showdown that pitted Lee against Norris in the Roman Colosseum. Everything here is legendary, from Lee's crackling preparation to systematically coaxing, taunting, and tearing down his opponent under the watchful eye of a stray cat. A grueling encounter, neither opponent shies away from fighting dirty.
So for most, as we say, Westerners, karate was slow or hard. Kung Fu was soft but fast. So we're talking about speed versus power. And that's why I was saying I would have been a speed fighter versus a power fighter, and we point for it. So we went for that spot. There's a spot on your nose, I'm gonna hit it.
Remarkably, brutal though their fight was, Lee cannot walk away without acknowledging a worthy adversary. Agree with our list?
How do you like that?
Which Bruce frickin' Lee moment is your favorite? For more entertaining top 10s, be sure to subscribe to watch.
That's the end of the video, guys. If you want to see he's done enough talking. So if you want to see, no, you've done enough. If you want to see,
yeah, Bruce Lee was.
Just go ahead and talk.
Bruce Lee was the man. I mean, he was the man, and I was around when he first got here. I was here. I wasn't into it, but I used to watch the Green Hornet and all his you know, I saw his old Chinese movies when everybody was Bruce Lee back in the 70s. Every Chinese, they would dress Americans up like they Asian to try to be Bruce Lee. And, you know, the movie, we had the television show called Kung Fu, which was Bruce Lee's idea. And they stole it and gave it to David Carradine, which was an American. Kind of American walking the earth, teaching everybody karate and beating everybody down. Come on, stop it. You know, they just cheated this man out of his money. Today, they would have been sued, you know, for stealing his idea. You can't just steal a person's idea. But back then, they got away with it. They stole from Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was the man, best martial artist ever. He invented MMA. He did a lot of ground fighting. He would arm bars. If you watch some of his old movies, what's that old one was? I don't know, the one where he took the guy down. He got him in the arm bar. That was probably the first arm bar on TV. He got him in the arm bar. He submitted him. Submitted the guy. The guy tapped out. What we call tap out right now. So he was the greatest, and I was around for that. So old age do afford you a lot of benefits that the younger generation just don't know. She didn't even watch one Bruce Lee movie, right?
I don't think so.
Never watched one movie. But, you know, the fighting that she's learning influenced by Bruce Lee. Taekwondo, that was
This is the end of the video.
Taekwondo is one of his styles. It's Taekwondo. That's why the Kwando way of, like Jeet Kune Do, Taekwondo is the way of the intercepting fist. Meaning, fight without fighting. What does that mean? I'm gonna hit you, and you're not gonna hit me back. So it's like I'm not in a fight. I'm teaching you how not to fight. the art of fighting without fighting. Go ahead.
This is the end of the video, guys. If you want to see the original video by yourself, the link is down in the description below. So is my social media. Add me, follow me. You already know the deal. But since this is the end, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Comment down below what you guys want to see next. Hit that notification bell to get a notification when I upload. And subscribe to join the family.
And as always, family is loaded with information. With age comes wisdom, knowledge. I'm a teacher. So financially, I can't take care of everybody, but
he will give you good advice. See you guys in the next video.